I'll show you how it's done. Shazam!
Hola, mi amigos. Welcome back to our channel here at Underdeveloped, and we are yet again doing another review. First review together for the new year. Check out the review with just me. For one of them days. That was fun. But it's the first review of 2025 together, and it's for Flight Risk, directed by Mr. Mel Gibson, Passion of the Christ himself, Mr. Braveheart. You know what I mean? Done a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Nowadays he's more of a director than actor because he kind of got low key canceled in the 2000s.
Yeah, because he said some very awful things.
Anti-Semitic, sexist, shit like that. Flight Risk with Mr. Mark Wahlberg, Marky Mark, someone named Michelle Dockery, never saw anything before, and Mr. That 70s Show, Eric. He will always be Eric Foreman to me. Topher Grace. Distributed by Lionsgate Films. So, Flight Risk is about a U.S. Marshal who arrests this accountant for the mob, a huge criminal organization, and to try to use him as a government witness. So she needs to transport him over to Anchorage and then to Seattle. So they charter a plane. The plane is flown by Mr. Marky Mark himself, who turns out to happen to kill the guy that's supposed to fly them, and he hijacks the plane because he is hired by the mob to take them out. Specifically, Topher Grace's character.
Yes.
And essentially, it's a fight between the U.S. Marshal and Topher to subdue Marky Mark and make it safely to the ground. That's essentially what the movie is.
Yeah, that's basically the whole plot.
And within that time, she learns that people within the organization are corrupt. They realize how far the crime boss that he works for reach, because they all working together to basically kill Topher, because he's an accountant, he has a lot of secrets, he knows how money was transferred, and that leads to a whole web of lies coming up.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right, so that's pretty much the movie. What do you think?
Overall, this is a very underwhelming experience. I really wasn't impressed at all by this. Like, I've seen better from Mel Gibson, even just as a director.
For sure, absolutely.
Like, this is
Passion,
weak sauce.
Hacksaw Ridge, Braveheart.
Yeah, like,
he made some classics.
It's crazy. Like, I don't think you've ever seen before where a director goes to film a movie like Braveheart, and then decades later, decades later, he makes this fucking beekeeper ass level movie.
Shit, even like 10 years ago, he made like less than 10 years ago, he made like Hacksaw Ridge, which was an Oscar nominated film. So
it absolutely was, and he's made successes in between them that were more like high quality than this.
But
his
biggest acting note is like Boss Level and Daddy's Home 2, which it wasn't bad.
Yeah,
he actually played Marky Mark's father.
Yeah, but here it's like, again, like this, it felt like I was watching a worse version of The Beekeeper at times, because like a lot of the dialogue is very cheesy.
I don't know. I think Beekeeper was entertaining in his own right, but I'll say Beekeeper. In my opinion, I think Flight Risk is a little better.
I personally disagree.
But I think there's more going on in Beekeeper, so it's probably more of an entertaining movie.
Yeah, like because like everything that happens in Flight Risk is like, it's all so it's all. Everything that happens in Flight Risk is just such a pain in the ass, because like everything here, it's stuff you've already seen. It's stuff you've already figured out by like very early on in the movie. It's no surprises, no shocks, and a lot of bad dialogue, and the performances are just very hit and miss. Mark Wahlberg is mostly good throughout this movie. I mostly liked him. Topher Grace, super hit and miss with his delivery in a lot of these scenes. Yeah, holy shit. And then Michelle Dockery, like, nothing against her. I don't know. I'm not super familiar with her filmography. Maybe she's better in other things, but she was just very boring here. She was very bland.
While we were watching this movie in the theater, I compared her to one of those, like, random cops you'll find in one of those TSI shows.
Yeah.
Criminal Minds, Blue Bloods, whatever.
She looks like she would work she looks like she would be giving the coffee to Mariska Hargitay.
Yeah, some shit like that. Like some agent that works under her or some shit.
Yeah.
Somebody report to Ice-T.
Exactly. Like, she really didn't bring anything here, at least not to this movie. Again, Not familiar with her. Maybe she's weird at other things. Maybe it is a direction
She was
problem.
physically capable, but I don't know. She just a face of delivery just.
Yeah, it was just very flat.
They didn't show any moves or chops to me, unfortunately.
Yeah, not really. Again, and even it might be a directing thing because even Topher really wasn't as best here.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's delivered his Topherisms, which is like his
Yeah, he has
his
good moments
sardonic,
here.
his sardonic, sarcastic. His not really sarcastic, it's like more like his sardonic deadpan kind of style. His Eric Foreman is. He's as I said, he will always be Eric Foreman. He always has that Eric Foreman delivery in anything he does. Yeah, so for me, I mean, I've slightly disagree with Nick, even though I do respect his opinions. I can see why someone would think this is whatever movie. I enjoyed it actually. I like what people could do with self-contained stories. Like I saw this film years ago called Unfriended, which is pretty much these like 4 friends getting blackmailed by someone that they accidentally killed years ago, or played a part in her death, and she came as this like ghost, and the whole thing takes place in this like from like a
computer screen.
Computer screen, but like it was like over like a Zoom chat or some kind of messenger app.
Probably Skype.
Some video, Skype. Yeah, probably Skype. Yeah, so through I forgot about Skype. Through pretty much a Skype chat, and through that she unloads. Everybody's dirty laundry comes out, and it's an hour and a half in that contained space. So it's essentially the same thing. It's Mark Wahlberg, Topher Grace, and Michelle Dockery.
Mostly in the plane. That's like majority of the movie. It's like 95% of the movie. Yeah.
And Mark Wahlberg, he comes in. I mean, it was. Like when Nick said no surprises, there were no surprises, but I actually generally caught off guard when they did a bait and switch because I thought it was going to be Leia Remini, who I'm pretty sure that was the one that was voicing her friend that works back at the agency, because they framed it as she was the one that was on the intake, and then when they came to, we realized it actually was the boss, the person that she was fighting so hard to get to. Sure, that hasn't been done before, but I actually was caught off guard just a little bit. I was like, oh, okay, I generally thought it was her. Or better yet, maybe it could be her and the boss in cahoots together, and I like shit like that because like you're not really seeing it, but you're like you're not really seeing it like physically, but like everything's just coming out, through the intercom when they're trying to correspond to get to so she can land the plane. Yeah, and she's like piecing things together, like, oh shit, she's a part of it, they're a part of it. If they could lean more heavily into that aspect of it, like they're a part of this, like she's like unwinding. This is more than just a trance. Like she's unwinding like an entire conspiracy, and she could potentially solve like the fucking case of the century. Yeah, put this bad guy away from the plane, and I really felt that they didn't really drag that out. No, enough. They didn't. And also, they could have done more with Mark Wahlberg. I feel like he was very underutilized. Like I want him to see him actually come to and subdue them and try to execute his plan. And that feeling you could have brought it to the woods. Like I was actually curious to see because he's always complaining about like, oh, like I have great plans. Like I still don't know what motivated him because he was just he came off kind of like more than someone that's motivated by mob shit and money. He seemed like a genuine sicko, you know what I mean? Yeah. And maybe has some real dark ways and how he does things. Like I think it was a phone call, some shit like that where they said someone was left without eyes and some shit like that. So it was like, that was a glimpse into how kind of psychotic he is. So it was like I kind of wanted to see some of what he tried, of what he had planned, just to see the depths of how how he operates. So I felt that's like a whole missed thing. It is like
honestly, that's the exact wrong kind of character to have in a movie like this because when you have a character like that, there's no real excuse why this movie doesn't end super quickly.
Yeah, because
it's either he kills them or they kill him.
Exactly. To you know what I mean. So it's like just keep him alive. I guess his principles motivated by her accidentally letting someone die before in a prior mission. So I get. Her need. But
that just explains her protectiveness over the witness. This doesn't explain anything about Wahlberg.
Like I think this movie would have actually benefited if it wasn't on the plane for so long. It could have really been a whole chase, like her racing to get this guy that's help.
I agree.
Outrunning Mark Wahlberg, you know what I mean? Like
I think that'd been a much better movie.
Could have been a lot more exciting. I think combined to plane actually was a detriment in certain regards.
Because
like, had to limit it very much and make dumb decisions because a lot of dumb things happen to this movie. Like
so many
things that just seem unrealistic. And I get it, movies about suspending belief, but how much belief you suspend? One movie. So I think that's like the biggest weakness of the movie.
Yeah, and building off what you said earlier, like I do think it would have been better if the whole conspiracy angle was more than just a subplot. And and your recommendation of having them go like make a much larger chase, I feel like that would remedy that biggest issue because like the way the movie ends, I I feel like not like what's really accomplished.
Yeah,
Topher Grace is like, okay, he gets medical attention now.
Yeah, like nothing really happened. You know what I mean? Like
nothing's resolved. The guy's still in his position.
Mark Wahlberg had many opportunities to kill him, but he didn't want to kill him. He literally said, "I don't want to kill you. What's the fun in that?" Like he had other plans. So I'm kind of interested in seeing how far is this guy gonna go.
Yeah,
like, I kind of want to see at least a piece of that plan and actor, just to keep a character like that with so much hidden secrets and idiosyncrasies just bottled up without just him contained to like just being chained up.
Yeah,
what's the point of bringing up a big actor like him, paying him a bunch of money just for that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like to me, I felt he's very unutilized. You know.
Yeah, like, and even then, like a lot of the dog in his movies is very bad. Like he's just here making rape jokes half the time. Like it's not, it's not. It got old really
rape
fast.
Insinuations.
Yeah, and like again, like going back to what I was saying, like I think like if we just saw like some comeuppance or some like idea of where the story's going to go, like definitively, it'd be more interesting. Because like, what's going to happen? Are they going to go all the way to New York and just die in the way there, and the guy gets off, and like the commissioner or whatever gets off scot-free? Because I feel like that's more likely what's going to happen of how the movie ends. Well,
I mean, it turns out that he was corresponding with the guy that was literally trying to kill Topher Grace.
I know. Yeah. So why not? So, but they're just going to send more and more cops until they're both fucking dead.
That's true, because she has no real proof at this moment. Other than that,
she has zero proof.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if by the way everyone else looking, it's like, oh, you just shot a cop for no reason. Yeah,
he called from unknown numbers, though.
Yeah, because like everyone saw her, and they didn't see. I don't think any of them saw him put the bag over Topher's head. So definitely.
I mean, maybe there's a camera inside that car.
An ambulance? I don't know.
It makes sense that people want to kill him because he is a high-profile witness. So, I mean,
I'm not saying it wouldn't make sense. I'm just saying like.
Shut to prove it, but I think that's one of the easy aspects to prove.
Again, like,
and Topher also corroborate that as well. So.
Yes, again, but what I'm saying is like this subplot feels like it should be the main plot. And the fact that it isn't really bothers me.
Protecting this guy, though everyone is trying to kill him more than this maybe Wahlberg. Like, the whole point is that the idea can really expand.
It absolutely can. Yeah. Like, because I've seen similar ideas work in movies. Like Midnight Run is a pretty decent movie.
Yeah, because to me, that's one interesting thing. Is like not just like a plane confined to a plane. Like actually, trying to save him from multiple threats. Because this guy's a powerful guy and has a lot of damning, like evidence against him. So it's like the idea is to kill him, threaten his mother. So like a whole race to save him and his mom. You know what I mean? A whole day's adventure.
Yeah. Honestly, like
could be something that's really
even for
cool.
Being self-contained to a plane. I know there was a Liam Neeson movie that had a very similar premise, where it was all just
non-stop.
Yeah, it was just on a plane the entire time. That was better than this even. Yeah. That's like even particularly a great movie, but it's just that it just knows what it wants to do, and it doesn't make nearly as many dumb excuses to keep the gimmick going.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. That's one of those biggest sins too. They just made people kind of moronic just to keep the story going.
Yeah. And that's like, ugh, I hate that.
Yeah. This movie couldn't get past its own confinement.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, I think we said what we need to say about this movie.
I think so too.
I thought Mark Wahlberg handled the accents pretty well. Like he
wasn't bad.
He started with like a more of a southerner or like up in western accent.
Yeah, which is weird because they're in Alaska. But okay.
Yeah, whatever. And then he's able to transition into more of like a mob Italian, New York kind of accent, which I think he handled pretty well.
It was like slightly different than his regular Boston accent, just slightly different.
I mean, a Boston and an Italian New York is actually not too far off.
I know, it's a little similar.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're saying that I think Rotten Tomatoes is a little too griminess. I don't think it's 21.
That's a little mean.
But I'm thinking about after really reviewing it and getting all the thoughts in my head and everything I'm thinking about it. So he does have a lot of problems. It could be a lot better. So I'll give this movie like a 48.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Like I was thinking like late 40s. But so 48. I think that's a perfectly fine score for this movie.
Yeah, 48, guys. All right, so tell us what you think about this movie. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Where can it improve? Or it is what it is, and you're looking forward to something better. You know what I mean? So let us know down below, and we'll keep in touch because we have other reviews coming out. There's a lot of movies coming out. Oscars gonna be coming out next month, and that's the thing we're gonna cover, amongst many other reactions to shows and movies that we've done. We have a whole February plan in place, already recorded it, and we already edited it, and now it's just a matter of getting approval, and it's gonna be some big ones, some of our best work. So stay tuned for that. We review some good movies. You know what I mean? Like, and one of them, arguably, I'll say is not our best reaction, but one of the best movies that we watched on the channel, if not the best, actually. Yeah. and one of the best performances that we've seen.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
that's gonna be exciting. And then we also do a classic comedy that was very beloved, huge cult following. And we had a lot of good time. We had a very good time with that. And we get into some real rom-com-y, soap opera-y. Yeah. I'm already looking back fond of it. Like us watching like The Notebook, that was like really fun. Yeah. Thinking about Sad was actually like is one of our memorables for sure. That was an experience, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. So keep an eye out for all that, folks. It's going to be all great. Like and subscribe so you're staying in touch when you see all that stuff.
Later, guys.